Hey guys, Jeremy here with Simple Little Life, and welcome to another installment of Viewers Knives. These are all knives that are made by you guys, the viewers of this channel. It's a great honor that I can share your work with others and be inspired by it. It's so cool to see what you guys are doing, so let's get right into it. The first knife we'll look at is sent to me from Alex, and he is 30 years old. He's from Rupert, Idaho, and he said he's been making knives for about 6 months. He really enjoys the videos I've shared. They've helped him quite a bit. Thank you so much for that. It's great to hear. And I think your knives look really nice, Alex. I like the fact that you're using files. That's a great metal, a great source of metal to get into for knife making. Really nice paracord wrap on these ones. Those are really, I like the profile, real slick looking blades. And just in general, your work looks really nice. So Alex, thank you for sharing these with us. Keep up the great work. And honestly, when I see your knives, I want to go out and do some more paracord handles. Just it inspired me. So thank you so much. All right, we're going to head from Idaho to Tennessee. Now, these are the second, third, and fourth knife that Luke has made. A really cool story about these is that at the time that he made these, his son was 8 months old, and he made one of the knives for his son, one for himself, and one for his father. That, to me, is really cool, and it's those stories that are so interesting to see. On top of that, these blades look fantastic. He's used cocobolo for the scales. That is one of my favorite woods. I really enjoy cocobolo. The steel that he used is 3/16 inch 1075. I did these all with a Harbor Freight 1x30 grinder and heat treated them in a little forge that he made, placing some bricks around a torch. So really excellent work, and proof positive you don't need a lot of fancy equipment to make really great looking blades. So Luke, congratulations on your son, and these knives are absolutely cool. Really neat to see the story behind these. Thank you for sharing this. Next, we're going to take a look at this knife from Joel, and he is 16 years old, currently living in Dubai. This is a great looking blade. He made it out of C70 steel using a bench grinder, and actually the scales, he 3D printed them. He says, you know, maybe 3D printing scales isn't going to hold up the longest in the long run, but man, that is so cool to think that you can, you know, print off these things and really not have to do all that much manual work to get scales that look really great. I think there's a great looking blade, Joel. Looks like a Becker BK, I don't know, 7 or something like that. But you know what? Really nice work. You've done a great job cleaning everything up, and for this to be the very first knife you finished, I'd say is very impressive. So thank you for sharing this, and keep up the excellent work. The next knife we're going to look at is sent to me from a 16-year-old knife maker, Tegan. This is one of the knives. He said he'd just like to have it featured on the show, and if you have any tips, let him know. You know what? The tip I give most people all the time, Tegan, is just keep making them. Keep practicing. That's really the only way to get better. But I think this is a great looking blade. I like the proportions of it, the handle to the blade size, and it looks like a really useful knife for out in the bush for doing work. So I think you've done a great job, Tegan. Keep it up. I can't wait to see what you're making in the future. These next two knives are sent to me from Ed, and he's been making knives for about 8 months, really enjoying it as a hobby, so that is excellent to hear. The steel that he used on both of these knives is 5160 spring steel, and that 15-inch tanto he did, he said was the first knife that he made, and it was a real kick in the pants with so many bevels. Absolutely, those are a lot of work, and for your first knife to take on and finish such a project, very impressive, nicely done. The second one here, again, is 5160 with water buffalo scales. I think it's a great looking blade, and I'm sure that just feels fantastic when you're holding it and using it. So Ed, excellent work here. Thank you for sharing it with us. Dustin is sharing pictures of his first two knives. This very first one he made was some Damascus that was out of a 15 and 20 and 1080, and he sandwiched layers of that between a piece of 5160 for the cutting edge. So essentially some San Mai Damascus material. Really a lot of work there, and that's a great looking blade. Very nicely done, and that handle looks so comfortable too. This is his second knife, and this one he did with 01 tool steel, so I think these blades look really nice. Dustin, keep up the great work. Alright, we're going to head to Kentucky now. Tyler is a 19-year-old knife maker, and he really enjoys the channels. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate your wonderful email. And this is the very first attempt that he's made at a knife, and I think it looks fantastic. I really like these nice scales he chose. That black and purple really stands out. Very nice touch to put the purple Kydex sheath with it. And the fit and finish of this knife look really great. Got a nice bevel on there, nice sweeping belly. This looks like this would just be a wonderful knife to own and to use. So Tyler, excellent job, and again, I thank you so much for your kind words. I genuinely appreciate it. Alright, we're going to head from Kentucky to Slovakia. Marion is a 30-year-old project manager, and he used to spend his time outside of work, either wandering in the woods or playing video games, but he felt something was missing. He needed a hobby to do with his hands, something to make. You know, as he was already a bushcraft enthusiast, he's already fond of knives, he decided, you know, I'm going to try and make a knife, and I think this one turned out fantastic. He used N690 for the steel, and the scales he used here are ebony. Very nice mosaic pins there to round out the build, and he did this entire thing without any power tools. I mean, I'm sure he probably used a drill to put the holes in for the scales, but absolutely fantastic work. This is a great looking blade, and one thing I really like here, he says that he doesn't see himself stopping anytime soon, so that is really exciting. And it's true, the satisfaction and the feeling that you get when you make a useful tool. One of the most fundamentally useful tools to every single person on the planet is a knife. Doesn't matter how much people want to hate them, how much people think they're dangerous. You look around and every single human relies on a knife throughout their day. That's just how it is. So to be able to make something so inherently useful to us with our hands, I understand the feeling, Marion. I'm glad you got that and that you're enjoying it. And thank you so much for your wonderful email. I really do appreciate it. From Slovakia, let's head back to the United States, and these knives are sent to us from a 14-year-old, Marshall. He is from Virginia, and this first one he made looks like a really cool little, practical little EDC knife. You know, just a super small little utilitarian blade. Looks fantastic. And then this next one here is another nice small looking EDC blade. I think smaller blades are such a great idea for new makers because you can get progress going quickly and you don't get disheartened, you know, if you're spending forever filing away material. I think these look fantastic. And, you know, another great idea here, for the scales, he just used an old skateboard deck. I think that's really cool. You know, it's good, strong, laminated wood, has a neat look to it, and it's got that story behind it that makes it interesting too. So, Marshall, excellent work. Thank you for sharing these. Alright, we're going to wrap up this edition of Viewers Knives by taking a look at some of these blades from Josh. Now, he has a wide assortment of materials from railroad spikes to 1075, 80 CRV, all kinds of different stuff. And these are just great looking blades. I like the fact that you're into forging your knives. This big Bowie just looks fantastic. I like the shape of that. That looks like a very formidable blade. Very nicely done. And you know, nice work here with these smaller ones with the G10. And I like that you have the different variety in the materials you're using for the handle scales and stuff as well. And then also the really nice file work here. That's a lot of work. A lot of extra time goes into that stuff, and I think this looks really nice. So Josh, thank you for sharing your work. Keep it up. It looks fantastic. Alright, well that's going to wrap up this edition of Viewers Knives. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Go ahead and leave a kind word for the makers below. You know, you can really make a difference. Encourage each other, learn from each other. Big old snowball gets going, and then you've got this great knife community, and it's wonderful. If you'd like to have your knife featured on this channel, just email me, jeremy@homesteadknives.com. Just to let you know, the knives from this episode were from February 22nd, 2018, so we're about a full year behind. But I'm going to try and do these a little bit more regularly, and as the emails come in, I flag them. They get stored in the order that they're shared, so if you're waiting on yours, please be patient. It will be coming out. We've got about 360 right now in the queue. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for sharing this. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and as always, I thank you so much for watching. Cheers.